my name is Miss Teresa. Welcome back to our Make It Monday. Today we're going to learn how to make these cute little witch and ghost for your yard. So if you're ready, let's get started. Okay, so I'm going to give you directions, step-by-step directions on how to build the ghost. If you're doing the witch, it's the same principle. You're just going to use black trash bag instead of the white trash bag. And of course you'll need a witch's hat. And I'll show you the difference as we go along because I did pre-make a witch, so that way we can show you the difference between them, okay? So the first thing you're going to need is a empty milk jug, water jug. This one was water. I find that milk, no matter how much you try to wash it out, it will still have that smell to it because this will be left in your outside and then eventually go in your garage. So just let you know, it will, to me, I can always smell the spoiled milk, but that's just me. You can also use plastic pumpkins, so those would be great to use instead of this, and those are fairly inexpensive. You get them for like $1 a piece. You're going to need 2 wire coat hangers. These particularly weren't the ones I was looking for. I was looking for the solid wire, but I couldn't find them. So these are ones I have, and these will work as well, okay? But you'll need 2 of those. If you have the solid wire ones, you can probably get away with just using 1, but just so you know. You will need some trash bags. The black ones I got were the 30-gallon. That was for the witch. That's the one I found at the dollar store. For the ghost, I have some 13 gallons, which means we're going to have to use a little bit more trash bags for each ghost, but that's just letting you know. If you don't want to use trash bags, you can use the plastic tablecloths. Those work perfect as well, and the dollar store has all kinds of colors in those, so you could get black for your witch, or you could get white for your ghost. And then you're going to need some kind of flowy, gauzy material. This is some packing material that we had. It flows very nicely. We'll use that over it, or get some here. If you happen to have some tulle, that will work as well, or some spider webs, something that's light and airy that's going to let that flow through. I don't have it with me, but if you're putting these outside, I would suggest getting some of the stakes from Walmart that you stake down your tent with. They're fairly inexpensive. They're like $1 a piece. You're going to need at least 2 per witch or ghost, because Texas winds are blowing and they will blow all over your yard if you don't stake them down. So just keep that in mind. You're going to need some tape. You can use clear packing tape. You can use regular duct tape, however you want. Now, if you're doing the ghost, if you use a bright colored duct tape, you possibly could see that. So I would keep that in mind. If you're doing the witch, it really doesn't matter because she's covered in black. If you're doing the witch, you can either paint your jug, or you can do, in my case, I had a green tablecloth. I just draped the green tablecloth over it, cut off the excess, and just taped it around the neck, so that way she has a green face, okay? Also, if you're doing the ghost, you will need the witch, you will need a witch's hat. Get whatever witch's hat you can find at your local dollar store. The one I have was trimmed in purple and has purple hair, so my ghost has purple hair. My witch has purple hair. Just keep that in mind whenever you're planning out how you want to set your yard out. If you want them all the same, if you want them different, however you want to do that, okay? So, the last thing you're going to need, I don't know if you can see it very well, is a tomato cage. This you can get at your local hardware store. The ones I'm using in particular are 42 inches. They are galvanized. I bought this at the local the local hardware store. It was less than $4, so just keep that in mind. And it is 42 inches, so it does stand a pretty good height, okay? Alright, so the first thing you're going to do is take your jug and wash it out, clean it out, make sure it's completely empty and void of any material. Let it dry. I particularly did not have time to let mine dry, but I would suggest letting yours dry because you don't want any mold or mildew in there. If you're doing the ghost, you can just let the drip dry through the bottom. If you're doing the witch, the same thing. You just don't want to stop the airflow from going in and finish drying this out, okay? Alrighty, so we're gonna have to move over here, so we're gonna redo it and we'll be right back. Okay, so this is it with the little arms. We repeated the process. We untied straightened out the coat hanger, taped them to the base, so that gave us the arms, and we have the head. So we took a trash bag and I cut it up the side and across the base, so that gave it an extra long length. And I'm just going to tape this around this. Because they are smaller trash bags, we do have to do them in groups. So we'll tape this on and then we'll go from there. So as you can see, the bottom didn't quite get together. You can either add another trash bag and go around it, or you can just put it in a position where nobody's going to really see it. That is up to you, okay? Trash bag. Now, I'm going to turn them on its side for a minute. So on my trash bag, there's these little flaps. I'm actually going to tape these flaps down to my base, so that way I don't have to worry about the trash bag riding up and you see in the base of it, okay? So there's where we're at so far. So we're going to take another bag. And you actually need 3 bags for this project at least, maybe 4. Because whenever I put mine on the top, you can see it doesn't come all the way to the bottom, because we are going to have to cinch it here. So you'll probably need 4. And these trash bags I bought, they came 5 for $1. So keep in mind you'll probably need about a box per ghost. And again, we're just going up the side. And instead of going across the base this time, we're actually going to go up the other side. And then we're going to cut a hole in the top for the neck. So it'll go over the head of the milk jug. And a tip when doing that, whenever you cut the hole, cut a little split in the back. There it goes. Downward, so that way it's easier to get over the milk jug, okay? And then I'm going to go in and add little pieces of tape throughout this part. That way it gives it the fluffiness you want. Alright, so that's 2 trash bags. We'll do a trash bag for the head, and then we'll do a half a trash bag for each arm, okay? So when you're doing the head, you may have to cut up the length of the trash bag to go over the arm slit, the arm wires. Like that. And the same thing with the other side. A bit more. And then we're going to gather it here. So that way it'll have his little head. Or their head, however you want to have your ghost displayed. And then just gather it up. And just make sure your tape connects. And that up if you lay down. Alright, so that's so far. Now we're going to do the arms, and then we'll do the finishing touches. Alright, so I took a trash bag, I cut it in half so that way I have half for each side. And then I cut that in half so I have a quarter of a trash bag. And I'm just going to loop it over here so that way it hangs. So it'll give it a flow. So we're just going to put some tape right here where they join. And then we're going to put some tape underneath here. And then I have another piece that we'll end up doing on the end part, okay? My tape went and hid from me. First thing, take it and tape it to the actual base. And you don't want to put too much tape because you want it to have that flowiness that a ghost would have, okay? Or that we think a ghost would have. And I just doubled this over and I'm just sticking it to the framework and to the bag. So that way it'll flow like that. And then we're going to do the same thing with the other quarter. So it's like that. Tape it to that one, and then we're going to tape the inside. Okay, so it's like that, super simple. If you want to give it some more dramatic flair, you can make bigger cuts in it. You can cut slits in it however you want. And then we're gonna do the other side and I'll come back and show you how to do your finishing touches, okay? So he's perfectly fine the way he is. And like I said, if you have some clear lights to add to the effect or some blue lights, those would be really great for your yard at nighttime. But if you want to add these extra material to give them a more flowy ghost-like feel, you can. These are just some packing material we had here, and So I'm just going to add those. You can also, like I said, add the tulle. It gives it just a more depth to it. So give me a minute and we'll be back. So if you're adding materials, just keep in mind you want them as light as possible. So that way the wind, whenever it blows, it'll blow the material as well. Okay, so all I did was add, remember I was adding the packing supplies to the side for the arms. I just added some more body to the body and added some around the neck and finish off this arm as well. I have some tulle. We're going to take the tulle and we're just going to drape it over the head. And then you can glue this, like if you have some E6000 or some hot glue, I would actually glue this tulle to the head as well. And then let's just bring it down the front a little. Now, if you wanted to add eyes, you could add eyes, like some dark eyes or dark face. But like I said, if you're at your house, throw some Christmas lights on the frame and in the jug before you start, and that way you can just plug it in and it'll be all illuminating and it'll show at night. So, and then we're going to pan over this way. We're going to actually stop for a minute. We're going to show you the difference between this and the witch. Okay, so for a witch, we obviously used black trash bags instead of the white. We didn't have to do the arms. I've seen them so you've cut a piece of the trash bag out and you would glue it or tape it to this corner here, and then you could have them interlocked and tie the strings together. That way that it looks like they're holding hands. So that's a thought you could do. Her face, I had a green tablecloth and I just wrapped it in it, cut the size I needed, and then taped it on there and then put the 2 trash bags on. To finish her off, I'm just going to take a witch's hat and slide it right on top. And there's that. And again, you could throw the Christmas lights in here in the jug before you start, and that way at night you plug it in and her face would illuminate. So thank you for joining us for our Make It Monday. I hope you had fun learning how to make the witch and the ghost for your yard. Remember to post, share, and like the comments. We love seeing you and seeing what you created. So until next time, bye.